big team win from the Halifax
Big
Thunderbirds.
team win.
Big team win.
Big team win.
Big team win. 14-12 over the Vancouver Warriors. Look, Tyson Geick, Docking Pat Gregoire, you know the drill. There were times in this game it didn't look like it was going to go the Thunderbirds' way. Pretty much the whole first half. Second half, a completely different story. It looked like a totally different team. Ashley, what does it take for a team to turn things around like that? What vibe did you get kind of being in the back there?
Yeah, vibes were good. Feeling fresh, I'm sure. So I think Vancouver obviously benefited being on the power play early in the game. They scored 3 goals early on, and that's one of their strengths. And so they were rolling. They were at an advantage. I think where they kind of got into a little bit of trouble is they started playing more of the East Coast style of lacrosse, more run and gun. Chris Gill before the game told us he was looking at game film, and he had to play it for 2.5, 3 minutes sometimes to find a 5-on-5 set because the way the East plays is transition heavy. And I think that Vancouver tried to keep up with Halifax instead of dictate their own pace at times, and I think it caught up to them.
Yeah, I think early on, I was impressed with their defense.
Real
Honestly,
good.
packing things in and not giving the Thunderbirds the inside of the floor like Philly did, and that's where the Thunderbirds were able to capitalize. Lasagna, was that the pregame meal?
Honestly, the lasagna beef story might be a career highlight on TSN of all things. It's wild.
I don't even have time to get into that. But Pat, I want to ask you about Eric Fennell, a player on this Thunderbirds team who doesn't always get the spotlight shone on him, but he was phenomenal tonight, and he's really finding his role with this club. Dare I say it, big team guy.
Big team guy.
Big team guy.
And honestly, he's doing everything. He's now getting that production because it doesn't matter if he has a line of zeros across the score sheet. He's going to crash and bang on the inside, free up space for the skilled guys. He's going to battle for loose balls. But when he puts that all together, he is a scary, scary player. He's playing with confidence. And Ashley, you talked to Micah Kersey earlier on this year, and he said he's a guy that you kind of have to, I don't want to say coddle, but he's a guy that needs that confidence. Encouragement, right? And that is exactly what's happened this year. And for him, he's a guy that, I said it, he crashes his bangs, but when the ball's starting to sink with him, you can see that confidence just exuding from it. The best play for me of the entire game, caused turnover at one end, puts Dinsdale in a locker, runs the ball up the floor, gets it to the other side, the ball gets back to him, and then he scores. Like, are we kidding here?
Yeah.
Ridiculous stuff from Eric Fennell.
6 loose balls, led the offense in that regard. Ashley, Adam Shanks, hat trick in the second half.
Another callback.
Yeah, we're doing all the inside jokes today.
That's kind of a low blow. I think that's
Was
kind
it?
of. It was like my second week. Adam Austin is the same difference. Like, he just got in the league. It's not a big deal.
Do you want to explain?
People know him now. Yeah, I was doing highlights and I called him Adam Shanks, and it's not his name.
Put some respect on his name. Had a hat trick.
Now.
Had a hat trick in the second half. He really led the offense. Just an impressive performance from him in that second half, at least. I think that's one of the players I look at when I say that this team just kind of looked like a different club in the second.
Well, that's the thing. You talked about vibes early on, and we were kind of joking, but he is somebody who you can tell when you can see the big grin across his face through the mask. That means things are going well for the team, because he is somebody, I think, that does get going when he sees the ball go in the back of the net. And that's not a negative. It's not a detriment to who he is as a player. It's just a fact. And so he is one person that you can always look to and say, how's this game going for Halifax? Is he smiling? Is he having a good time? It's probably going well.
I mean, you want to talk about vibes. Let's just talk about the 35 seconds in this game. 3 goals off the face-off. Jake Wizard. I mean, that was the ball game right there.
Yeah,
and people say, well, face-offs don't really matter. Well, just show them that 35 seconds. That just is how important. Wiz was unbelievable on the faceoff. Anytime Vancouver went on a run, he was able to win the draw. The offense is able to establish themselves. And the run that they were able to go on was because they were winning draws. Like, at some point, Vancouver in that fourth quarter just started jumping early to avoid that fast break.
Yeah.
That's how good Wiz was, not just winning the draw, but creating offense from it.
A phenomenal team performance here from the Halifax Thunderbirds tonight. This team looks to keep rolling next week. A big 2 games. They take on the Albany Firewolves, who are the biggest wild card in the entire National Lacrosse League. I don't even think that's up for discussion anymore. And then they go on the road to take on the Georgia Storm. So games in back-to-back nights for the first time this season. Now 8-1. We're halfway of the way through the year. It's going to be interesting to see what the second half holds. Last word?
Big team girl.
Get wild.